you're immediately taken into this couple, and they're about to have a baby, and you're seeing yourself in them. Maybe you're seeing your parents in them, and you're seeing them trying to make these decisions. And funny enough, Andrew, I just had children for the first time in my life 3 and 4 years ago. I've got 2 sons, 3 and 4 years old. And my wife, Mariana, has reminded me almost every day for the past 2 months that it was her decision to keep them from being vaccinated. And again, I think it was that maternal instinct where she was just like, no. And unfortunately, I think, and maybe you can tell me if this is true, the masculine energy sometimes tries to grab onto the logical sometimes, right? I know I do. And I would probably throw out smallpox vaccine, which is what I threw at Robert Kennedy, and he managed to kind of chop that up a little bit, or polio. And I was regurgitating things that I was taught. And when I was a kid, there were these after-school specials, and I remember the vaccine needle coming out and going into the thing, and I remember those little cartoons, and it kind of brainwashed me. And then I fell in love with the science, and I assumed the science was pure. And then you got the guy in the white coat who you used to be, and we're taught to treat these people like gods, and then we find ourselves in this situation. So I know I said a lot of things there. What do you make of my reactions?
I think it's exactly what nature intended. Men are more logical in their processing because they don't have, to anything like the same extent, this innate connectivity to the children that the mother has from the very, very beginning. Then they tend to come at things in a more logical, deductive way, an objective way. But this isn't objectivity. This is something far more important. Let me give you a vivid example, Brian. I was on holiday with my family, my wife and my 4 children in Spain. We were up in the hills, and my son had a fever. My second son had a fever. He was only small at the time. And we were up in the bedroom, and she was sitting with him on the bed, and she was mopping his brow. And suddenly she leapt up, she ran across the room, she ran down the stairs, she ran through the kitchen, out of the house, across the courtyard, across another yard, into the pool area, and threw herself full length into the pool to catch my baby daughter just as she was about to take the last step that would have led to her drowning. Where did that come from? It was absolutely extraordinary. I didn't feel it, but there it was. And that's what I'm talking about. She knew some connection between her and my daughter, some indivisible connection, led her to know that there was danger, where it was, and she was there literally within a split second of it being a complete catastrophe. And that's what I'm talking about. And that doesn't demand logic or objectivity, that just is. And that's something I've seen so many times in clinical practice. And it's true, it's real. And we have to believe in it, because if we trust it, if we trust that objectivity, if that objectivity says to the mother, if that little voice says to the mother, you should get your child vaccinated, fine. That's your choice. You listen to that voice. But if it doesn't, if it says something else, please listen to it, because it is far more powerful than the person trying to coerce you into doing it and telling you that that little voice inside you counts for nothing. It's so important.